Wonderful people and beautiful people, welcome to this page. The Hausa tribe, they have woken up. They've started their self-determination. We say in our adage that when you wake up in the morning, anytime you wake up, it is your good morning. Now they've woken up and they've started fighting. Yeah, listen to this message and let me know what you think about it after you finish listening to it. And I want to also thank those that have liked, those that will like, and those that will share. May God continue to bless you. Please like my video and share. It will help me to do more. Now watch and listen to this message.
Greetings, Omochukwu, from the eastern Nigeria. Now listen to this. Indigenous Hausa people seek freedom from Fulani bondage of mental slavery. There is a particular group under the auspices of Indigenous Hausa People Movement for Self-Actualization. Tura Takai Bango, they have urged Hausa people to break free from what they regarded as Fulani bondage of mental slavery. In a translation of the audio message issued in Hausa language, the speaker went down memory lane to remind Hausas how the Fulani progeny, Osman Dan Fodio, betrayed their trust, disrespected, and humiliated them. That is it. The speaker further assured of the determination of the indigenous Hausa people to reclaim their traditional institutions of KANU, Zaria, Sokoto, Katsina, and those of all other places. Look at the text or the audio in full now. I quote, "Fellow compatriots, I welcome you to this blessed family known as Tura Taikai Bango. Be informed that this movement of mainly Hausa people comprises of a few non-Hausa natives, exclusive of Fulani people, who are known to be trustworthy people, unlike the Fulani, and friends of the Hausas that share in their pains, worries, and aspirations. We welcome all other Nigerians except Fulani people. I want to share some information with you on some happenings and things you are expected to do as follows. You may recall that our mother in this struggle, Hajiya Katom Alumbe, had advised that each person makes contributions to the struggle, no matter how small in whatever capacity, place, and circumstances, to educate fellow brethren about the past and present mischief of the Fulani against the Hausas, such that all will know that there is no love lost between the Hausas and Fulanis. Wherever you are in the public and find the Fulani making derogatory remarks against the Hausas, you owe yourselves a duty to peacefully but firmly rebuke the Fulani person. You are encouraged to match them word for word. If the Fulani refer to you as Kado, you can reply by saying that it is their progeny, Osman Dan Fodio, that is Kado. They have betrayed our trust, disrespected and humiliated us enough. There are people who are bent on deceiving, confusing, and discouraging our people from participating in this movement through propaganda in order to kill the spirit of the movement. They are spreading falsehoods that we are being sponsored by non-Muslims, missionaries like Christians Association of Nigeria (CAN). We must tell the world that there is no Christian as individual or group sponsoring our movement, but there are native indigenous Hausa Christians, non-Muslim Hausas, Magozawa, and Muslim Hausas involved in the movement, because this is a purely Hausa family affairs. This is because true Islam does not discriminate, otherwise it cannot call people to the faith. On the contrary, the Fulani clearly teaches discrimination and other forms of societal disharmony. This misrepresentation of Islam has led to the generalization of Muslims as killers, whereas those Muslims in the business of killing are Fulani who are practicing Osman Dan Fodio's ideology, not Islamic religion. These are people who are so unconcerned about religion such that they value the life of their cows more than even that of their families. They would rather watch their mother die than their cow. They can't even perform prayer, ablution. These are people who live in the bush without interaction with humans, but animals. How can such people interact meaningfully with humans? This is why the Hausas must distance themselves from the Fulani clerics, because they pose more disaster in the society than the ignorant Fulani in the bush. If children are taught by Fulani clerics, chances are that such children will lose emotional connection with their parents, because they will begin to refer to their parents as Kado and Habe. That's derogatory names of Hausas given by the Fulani. Before the Amphodious mother and father arrived in Hausa land, Hausas have been Muslims for over 500 years. Unfortunately, the Fulani have hijacked us, deceived and subjected us to their monopoly in every aspect of life: economy, trade, commerce, leadership, politics, and education. Yet, they remain ever greedy and insatiable, loss of a people. In view of all of the above, it has become necessary for us to express our resolve to free ourselves from every form of domination by the Fulani and assert our own identity, culture, and traditions. It is a fact that all other tribal groups in Nigeria, regardless of their sizes, have their traditional institutions and leaderships except the Hausas. There is the need to showcase the worthy virtues of the Hausa people, talents, dignity, cultures, customs, and traditions, so that they will be in reckoning with others in Nigeria, Africa, and the world. Hence, the need for the re-establishment of the native indigenous Hausawa traditional institutions is imperative. We have witnessed all manner of religious aberrations contrary to the ideals of Islam that the teachings of Osman Danfodio have introduced, that denigrated Islam as a religion of hate and violence against non-Muslims, has been propagated and perpetuated by the descendants of Osman Danfodio. They churn out propaganda against Christians as enemies of Muslims and concentrate in instigation and preaching of hate against the Christians, which often culminated to mutual suspicion, bad blood, and violence. This scheme of disunity has long been in use to the detriment of the poor Muslims, while those same Fulani Muslim elites in power and authority unite with others to improve their lives and those of their families, regardless of their religious differences. This is time for Hausa to do a rethink and regain their rights and freedom from the bondage of mental slavery. By the re-establishment of Hausa institutions and restoration of their leadership, the Hausa people will be positioned to take back their rightful places in the scheme of things in Nigeria, Africa, and the world at large. It is an anomaly that the Fulani will create various societies and groups, some exclusively for the Fulani and others for the entire northern region, Arewa, for instance. And all these are being led by the Fulani. The native indigenous people of northern Nigeria are always deliberately schemed out of the leadership roles of the organizations. Yet the Fulani are immigrants in the land who are not satisfied by their integration status as Nigerians, but want to be the lords of the host people and owners of the land. The Fulanis don't represent our interests, but use our identity and name at the federal level to collect allocation, shares for the North, only to corner them exclusively for themselves and their families. In view of the above, we are resolved not to remain under the Fulani leadership of whatever sorts. We shall rather be led by our own people, the native indigenous Hausa people of Nigeria. Our leadership, as shall be constituted and represented by the native indigenous Hausa people, shall be the basis of negotiations with people of other regions of Nigeria, regardless of their religious or identities. The Fulani leaders have been against the idea of our coming together to reunite and assert ourselves. But the same Fulani have all manner of Fulani groups, just like the others of our fellow native Nigerians that have theirs too, which the Fulani don't oppose. Why should it be an offense to the Fulani if the Hausas have their own groups, since the Hausas are not visitors or strangers in Nigeria? The Fulani should know that the Hausas are natives, not visitors, and should respect them for whom they are. It should be noted that just like in the manner Mieti Allah and other Fulani groups advance and protect their interests, the Hausa groups being formed shall protect the Hausas similarly. On the religious front, the Hausas have enough teachers and clerics to model their children properly in accordance with Islamic values. This is unlike the teachings of Fulani clerics and teachers that are laden with falsehoods but brainwash that lead children to character vices like hate, disrespectfulness, and violence. They discriminate between Fulani and Hausa children under their tutelage, just like what obtains in Dahiru Bauchi's Almajiri school. This movement has inalienable rights like other Nigerians to establish Hausa cultural and identity organizations for advancement and protection of their rights. More so that we are not known for violence, terrorism, or discrimination. The world must know that we have no business associating ourselves with Muslims propagating the ideas of Osman Dan Fodio or those subservient to the Sultan of Sokoto. It should be on record that we are determined to reclaim our traditional institutions of KANU, Zaria, Sokoto, Katsina, and those of all other places. We trust Allah that the law of karma will catch up with the Fulanis. We are done with British colonialism, but still contending with that of the Fulani, which end is near. We concluded by saying that Osman Dan Fodio ran brigandage, banditry, and usurpation of power over Hausa land, not Islam. End of quote. So they have established a group. Okay, the Hausa said they have established a group, and they said this group is known as the Indigenous Hausa People Movement for Self-Actualization, Turata Kai Bango, and that is it. Osetigo, Osetie.